if they're already getting like 10 inches of rain right now on the western side of Florida, that is horrifying.
All right, with this West 2 Facebook Live update, I'm Chief Meteorologist Tony Manolfi. Had a little excitement there with the tornado warning in Brevard County. Things have since then simmered on down. We still have some strong winds, though, along the coast. We're going to get to that here in just a second. Let me take you guys back outside right now. Let me show you what it looks like. The 8 o'clock intermediate advisory is in, and I wanted to give you guys an update on what's going on with that. Again, the latest thinking, Elizabeth, is that this is going to be a hurricane at landfall, Category 1, and then head up towards southeast Georgia, such that by Tuesday morning it's approaching the Savannah, Georgia area, and that's what we're going to continue to monitor. For us, it is all about the heavy rain and the wind this evening. There have been some strong gusty winds, and there may be a few power outages here. 45 to 55 wind speeds up there in Ocala, 30 to 45 plus with some of those squalls here up and down the I-4 corridor. Jay, Joe, Rick, and Jojo Hernandez, good to have you guys in here. So that's the winds, and then here's the power outage potential. Again, the greatest risk is by far and away going to be up there near I-10 and not here in central Florida. There's Ocala. There's a look there at Palm Coast. You guys maybe have a possible small chance there for a heavier thunderstorm to maybe do some damage to a power line or two, but overall, I think that the chances for power going out has greatly diminished from a couple days ago when the tracks were closer to the I-4 corridor. Now, this is the area. That's the area where we had the tornado warned location up towards Port Canaveral right there. And speaking of active severe weather, we do have a tornado watch. This was just expanded and lifted northward now until 6 a.m. right through daybreak tomorrow morning. So we'll be watching these little pieces of energy come on through overnight tonight as Debby goes by. And speaking of Debby, let me go ahead and just do one quick little thing here for you. Loading up some radar images. Want to give you a little tour. How will Tallahassee look tomorrow? Cassandra, they're gonna have some wind and they're gonna have some heavy rain tonight as the storm comes ashore. And it may stick around a little bit longer for them up there. If I brought it out to view, here's what's happening. So we have a front. Let me kind of do this. Here's the front. We do the properties. Front properties. We do this. So we have a cold front. Here's your front. So this is like a war. This is trying to come north. This is coming south. And what this is likely going to do is slow it down and then make it do a little bit of a right-hand turn. And that's what we're going to be watching here going forward. Jane, Teresa, good to have you. Mike Vera, Melissa, Marie, good to have you guys. Gainesville's going to get a lot of rain, a lot of wind. The winds up there are going to be, 45 to 60 miles an hour in some of those heavier downpours. Landfall is probably going to be 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, maybe a little bit sooner because it does appear to be still moving pretty good. Again, if you're just getting on in, the intermediate advisory now showing moving north at 12. Moving north to 12. Pressure has been the same, but notice the wind here, up to 70 miles an hour, nearing hurricane strength right now. So one of the things I do want to show you with this thing intensifying, you got to look at the wave action. Let me show you this here real quick. Look at these waves now. Along the west coast, 10, 11 feet just offshore near the northern side of our storm. The wave action is up to 16 feet, folks, up to 16 feet. All right, let's go to the radar. A lot of action, a lot of energy here along the eastern side of the peninsula. That's going to lift to the north. Then there's a little bit of a lull for now that's going to be developing here through the interior along the I-4 corridor. And then as this storm, there's a lot of moving pieces. As this storm moves up here, right? As it moves up here in that main corridor, these bands are going to rotate back across the peninsula. So again, our risk for severe weather is still pretty good from central Florida off to the north. Let's take a look now at some of these winds for you guys. One thing I do want to show you is that with these bands coming across, look at that 62 mile an hour wind gust there over towards Clearwater Beach there and down towards St. Petersburg. So that's a pretty good burst of energy now as the eastern side of our storm system is scraping the west coast. And there's your developing eye right there. There's your developing eye. And when we look at the Tampa radar, there again is your developing eye. That's a sign that this storm is indeed strengthening. Again, it is lifting up to the north here. I'm going to erase that. It is roughly now about, I'll call it, let me pull this back out, 110 miles there from the coastline, moving at 12 miles an hour. So let's do some math. Let's just call it, 100. Let's call it 110. 110 divided by 12 tens. So that's 9. So 18, 108. So it's about 9 hours away from landfall at that current speed, if it doesn't slow down. Just to kind of put that into perspective. So I got 8:30. So what is that? 5 o'clock in the morning, somewhere around 5 o'clock in the morning at that current speed. But it is expected to slow down a little bit on approach, so that's why we're pushing it back, a little bit later than that. In fact, let me show you the latest advisory. There's your 8 p.m. advisory. 2 p.m. well inland, 2 a.m. approaching the Big Bend area, then making that turn to the right. Are the chances for hitting central? Joe, no, they're actually a direct hit. No, it's going to be north and west of us, but we are getting impacts from it clearly, as you can see right there. Good to have you, Daniel. Candy Barber, strong winds at O'Brien. Okay, Candy, thanks for that excellent report. Do appreciate that. Look at these bands now. We just had a tornado warning. We just had some severe thunderstorm warnings. Those just expired there in Brevard County. One thing that I do want to show you here is these winds. This is pretty impressive. All along the coast, this is the Melbourne radar, and there's a huge push of wind right here. I'm going to go ahead and this one was over the northern section here. That has now moved offshore, thankfully, because that was again what prompted. There it is. You saw that? See that little couplet? Boom! Right there, and then now it just shot north out of a cannon, moving at about 50 miles an hour. South of there, there's a few more little features off to the Atlantic, and then we look down to the south and west. I'm going to switch this over here. I want to show you the Tampa Bay radar. Wow. So there's some good wind here on the eastern periphery of the developing eye. Look at that, 70, 77. 67. So those are where the strongest winds by far and away are, just off the western side there of the peninsula. And there's your eye, the velocity here, showing the eye of the storm now coming into play, now developing there. And if it's hard to see there, then when I switch it over, there's your eye. That is really coming into view now, and looking better and better. Now, we don't have the deeper thunderstorms on the eastern side. They're kind of wrapping around the south and west side. First time we're seeing that, so that's an important little update. Once this thing wraps fully around with the yellows, then you're talking about something that could intensify a bit more quickly. But it's taking its time. It's going slow. And the good news is here, as it's lifting to the north, it is running out of liquid real estate. That would be in the Gulf of Mexico. But the one thing that we are going to watch is this little punch right here, because there's Denali. This is a very large swath of some wind and rain. There's a look at the Tampa velocity. And when we go ahead and take a look at some of these winds, they're quite strong. 78, 64, 47. And I am hoping that is just going to miss Marion County. It looks like it will, but we're going to have to watch that very carefully. If there's any jog to the east, then I become a bit more concerned that core of that strongest winds can get into southwestern Marion County. Now there's another little punch of energy right here. That's this little band south of Bushnell. This has got some decent wind in it as well. We'll go ahead and ping some of the winds there. Let's do this. So what do we got? We got 48, 46, 56, and 37. So that's, again, a nice little corridor, some gusty winds there. I've been checking the buoy offshore in the Gulf. Yep, we got a lot of those. Actually, I have a few more that I'm going to show you as well. Did I put that? Let me see here. I got buoy data. I think I have that. What hit is this? What hit am I? I'm in the init hit. Okay, yeah. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm going to go back to here. All right, so that is the METARs. So if somebody wanted to see the buoy gust, there's the buoys. I'm going to add those in as well. And look at that. There's a buoy right there. See that buoy? You got 58. Earlier, there was a 65, but that buoy is no longer communicating with us. So what does that say? With those 15 to 20-foot waves action going on out there, it may have taken out that piece of buoy data as it went over it. Jacqueline, good to have you right there. Rain and a little wind in Norman. Tammy's in the house. Darlene, Dorwin, good evening to you. Rain in the land. Darlene, hope you guys are doing well. A lot of folks are getting a lot of rain tonight. There's no doubt about that. A few more things to pass along. I wanted to show you this. This is the graph tropical scenario here. This is it's doing pretty good. It's got the right location. It's got a little bit of an eye, maybe a little bit underdone with the core there, but the core does come around on this particular product. And notice what it does. It's a little bit too far east with that main band. Remember I was just showing you on the radar that main band just west of Tampa Bay offshore? Well, this model has it onshore right now. So it's a little bit too far east if we now cast it. But what this model does is continues to bring in a lot of rain as it continues to lift north. So this one's got landfall between 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning, just east of the Big Bend, right near and south of Tallahassee, southeast of Tallahassee. And look at the bands, still over us throughout the course of the afternoon. But the worst of the weather heads up into northern Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina as we head into Tuesday. So again, timeline for tonight. Overnight, worst of the weather is arriving. It's here. We just had a tornado warning. Squally weather and winds, strong storms. Finally got some rain in New Smyrna Beach, says Marla. Wendy Morgan, good to have you. So when we have a big audience like this, there's a couple things I do like to do. I like to ask you questions from time to time. You know, do you like our graphics package that we're putting on the air for this coverage? Is there anything that we haven't shown you that you might like, that we can maybe make down the road for you guys to help you guys out, maybe better help tell the story where you are? William Britsky, Denellen, yep, thank you, Tony, for the updates. Elizabeth Haught, well, the cloud cover has been nice and cool. The temperatures today are only in the 80s. I believe, did you say it was 84 today?
89 and 90 in Sanford.
90 in Sanford, but Orlando.
Orlando, we did not get out of 80.
Yeah, we did get into the 90s, right?
We did not get into
Yeah.
90.
Charlie, thank you. Appreciate the graphics are good, says Louis. Love the graphics. And you know, we got a couple of slaps on the wrist from some of our viewers about cutting in during the Olympics. You know, we hadn't jumped on at all, even for severe thunderstorm warnings, until that tornado warning came down today. And we got off early. We get it. We know you love your Olympics. We're not trying to annoy you guys, but it was it was over in Cocoa, it's a pretty populated area, and then once it lifted up to Royal Northern Brevard County, of course we got off, and we just hope that there are no more tornado warnings. We don't jump in and kind of disrupt your Olympic pleasure, so to speak. All right, Lavanda, this is awesome. Yep, thank you. Wesh is the best weather team. Oh, Aaron, it's so nice. Graphics are great, says Corey. Love your future cast. This is more important, Sarah. Yep. Ciao to you, Carmen. I wish more coverage in general for Brevard. Seems to be a little space. Kathy, it's we got to like almost be politicians. When to get on, how to get on. So we'll watch that.
Lights in there. I'm glad.
I'm not watching Olympics. Well, thank you, Charlie. Thank you. You guys are too nice. Anyway, yeah, so just trying to get some of your feedback there to see what you guys think. Now, remember, the next 12 hours, we are still going to be in it.
They have
through the morning for sure, then hopefully calming down by the afternoon. Daytona is in the clear. I don't know about the clear, but you do have some good rain coming your way. Watching from Illinois, live in Debby, Suzanne, get some gusty winds over there, but I don't think it's going to be too crazy. Sanibel getting into the business too. You do an amazing job, says Tammy. Thank you for what you do, Edward. Georgette Harris, thank you. Wish you had cameras. We showed a few, but when you do these cut-ins, Phil, and that's a great point. You only have 35 to maybe 60 seconds to get to the meat and potatoes of what it is you're trying to drive home. So you gotta really budget your time. Now, when we go into long form coverage, that clearly changes. So rainfall amounts, lighter amounts south and east, heavier amounts back up to the north and the west. If you look at the Euro, Madison County. You guys are in a little bit of a lull over there. No rotation right now, Mario, for the Orlando area. The Euro's drier than the GFS for sure. I still like this graphic. I think this one is probably a little bit better. I think the GFS is a little bit overdone on the western side of the peninsula. The GFS is also a little bit slower with what it wants to do. And that would be more problematic for some flooding in northern Florida. But it's an outlier. A lot of the tropical models are not doing that. I want to make that very, very clear to everybody. Let me show you the models. One thing I have not done, but here they are. I want to just see something here real quick. If they are, so we usually get a new update here right about now. Let me see. There's Debby. And we don't have the 00Z yet. All right, so the models you're seeing right there right now, folks, that's from the early afternoon tropical model run. So literally here in the next 15 to 20 minutes, we should have the evening tropical model runs. And remember, with the hurricane coverage being up there, damage to 5 RVs in the Sunrise Palm RV Park with a few toppled trees in the area. So just got a local storm report, folks. Five RVs in the Palm RV Park were toppled and damaged. So yeah, Ken, did you say they're going there? Is that?
Yes, it's
Yeah,
approved.
yeah,
Heading
cool.
over
All right,
there.
good. So just wanted to pass that along to the viewers there. Street flooding along power outages in Seminole County. That's off towards the west. Let's see, just checking a couple more feeds here for you if I got any new stuff here. So the new model should be coming in any second. I'm gonna go back to the radar. Here's the Tampa radar. There you go, right there. There's the live radar. You can see the developing eye. This is a developing eye with our Debby here. And remember now with the 8 o'clock intermediate advisory, we were at 70 miles an hour. So we're borderline hurricane. And now that we're looking at the radar, one of the things that Cam Marquise and I and Allison, our intern, have been looking at is the Tampa Bay radar. And the one thing we haven't seen until tonight is the banding around the north, the west, and the southwest side. Once we get that yellow to wrap completely around, the chance for a more steeper or a quicker rate of intensification would go up. But the limiting factor there is this, and I'm going to make this very clear. The amount of liquid real estate left is probably about 100 miles, 110 miles. So we have that working in our favor. What about expecting Monday morning 5 a.m.? Tammy, hello, Tony, Shante, good to have you. Daniels, hi, Allison. What do we got here? We got a report there. All right, so let's get into the watches and warning map. Nothing going on there, so that's some good news. We have, let's see, we got a couple flood advisories I see now, up north and west. That's far northwestern Marion County, it looks like. And then on a little sliver there, let's do this. There it is, Alachua, Gilchrist, Marion, until 11:45. Not too many people live there, it looks like. What time is it worse in Sumter County? So Sumter County, it's like now right through about 5 o'clock in the morning. Now through about 5 o'clock in the morning. Let me do some of these county by counties. I haven't done that yet. I know you guys do enjoy these and like them. It helps you kind of figure out what to expect in your county. For those that live in Marion, Sumter, and Lake counties, worst of the weather's tonight through Monday. Winds 35 to 45. Maximum gust here, probably looking at about 50 to 55 miles an hour. Rainfall in Marion County could be upwards of 6, maybe 7 inches. And then down south, southern Lake County, I think it's going to be a little bit lower. I think it's probably going to be closer to 4 inches there. So it goes down as you go south and east. Speaking of south and east, let's head to the I-4 corridor. Sanford, Orlando, Kissimmee. You can see that here, worst of the weather's now through Monday afternoon. Sustained winds 25, 35, maximum gust could be 45, maybe an isolated gust of 50 if we get one of those heavier squalls to come on over. Rainfall amounts 2 to 5. Some isolated amounts a little bit higher. And then last but not least, for our friends along the eastern side of the peninsula, we have this going here for you. Let's see, emergency window force. Yeah, we got that. So Sunday PM, Monday PM, winds 20 to 30. Could be a few gusts, a little bit higher than that. Rainfall 2 to 3 inches down south, a little bit higher though, up towards Flagler and Volusia County, could be closer to 4 or 5 inches of rain. Thank you for the Ocala. Donna, look, we're here for you. That's what we do here. Catherine Brunel wants to know what she missed. You didn't miss anything. Let me show you the winds here. One of our FutureCast models. You betcha, Chris. Victoria Harrison Magoo, Tiffany DeHart. Here's the wind forecast. So look at that, 50, 6:30 in the morning tomorrow. Still 50, 10 o'clock. The Villages in Wildwood. Nice little drop off through the interior. Then you can see as the storm lifts to the northeast, Palm Coast to land in the 40s, 6:30 p.m. Still a bit breezy out there, but you can see that storm just kind of hanging out there across southeast Georgia and then drifting off towards the east, northeast. Here's a different perspective of it. Sorry about that. Nurse going to work at 7 a.m. Jacksonville. Ooh, that's going to be a little bit tough. There's 7 a.m. 7 a.m. There's the winds picking up. So Jacksonville, light at 7, but increasing throughout the morning on into the afternoon, and then headed right up towards Savannah. All right, let's do this. Just get some rainfall totals in here real quick for you guys. If you don't, there we go. We're going to stay windy through. I don't know how through when these are gusts though. I mean, you get these squalls kind of hanging out and around, but there's a look at FutureCast through 8 a.m. I think this is a little bit overdone personally. If you want my thoughts and my opinions, I think that's a little bit overdone there for the rain on the ground. Hey, Brian, we got a cut in here.
Sure, I'm not right away.
14 minutes, yeah.
Just making sure you.
Yeah. I'm gonna pop off here in about 5 minutes. Thanks, bud. Yeah. So in between Facebook Lives, we're doing cut-ins, and Brian's checking in on me. He's a good man. Citrus County, you guys gonna get some good wind and rain. It's coming in now, and it's gonna be there for you and with you right through sunrise, and then gradually, slowly wind on down. Yes, they are, Chris. Leesburg's in the house. There you go. And then gradually wind down. So for me, this is the graphic I like for rainfall. I think this one's pretty good. 1 to 3 south and east, 3 to 5 between now and Tuesday, and then 4 to 7 up to the north and west. So overnight tonight through tomorrow, we're talking about first warning weather day, as we are anticipating the chance for severe weather. The watch does remain in effect now until 6 a.m. 6 a.m. In the morning. So that's that. Let's end this on a good note here, as you can see as we get you into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just your typical daily afternoon showers and thunderstorms. So we get back to a more of a normal weather pattern there. Now I do want to throw out one more thing here. This is there's another feature that we are keeping an eye on here in the tropics. It's a wave, and it's east of the Windward Isles and then we'll likely track towards Cancun and or the southwestern Gulf of Mexico. So that's another area that we're going to keep an eye on. Right now, it's way too early to determine what, if anything, is going to happen with it. So don't sweat it. Let's get through Debby, and once we get past this one, we'll see what, if anything, we have behind it. There's a look at your live radar. You can see that developing eye now with Debby. This is on the verge of becoming, I think, a hurricane, and we may have this at the 11 o'clock hour with the next advisory, if not then, certainly by the 2 a.m. advisory. Bottom line is, we've got a lot of water and a lot of wind, especially on the west coast. There is a little bit of a break now, setting up shop through the interior. That was expected. The models did actually a really good job of forecasting that. And, we've had all that nasty stuff along the coast that we're going to continue to watch here from coastal Volusia County, coastal Flagler County. And we're going to keep close tabs on that as this lifts back up towards the north with time. And then off towards the west, starting to see a little bit of rotation there, just northwest of Holiday, just southwest of Spring Hill. There's a little bit of a couplet there now, beginning to fire on up. That's, let me take a look at this with the Tampa Bay. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Wow, that's pretty bright. That might be, let's see what kind of wind we're pinging there. 70, 84. That's the strongest one I've seen all night. That's the strongest one I've seen all night with that. And there's your eye. Can you see the eye right there, folks? That is the eye or the center of circulation with Debby. That is showing up really, really nice right now on the Tampa Bay radar. So this is for me. This is what we need to watch. Does this core right here stay offshore? Or does it kind of skirt the coast? It's going to be awfully close to western Marion County. That's what we're going to be watching. We'll watch the trends. We want this thing to go due north. We don't want it to go northeast. Any bend back towards the east is not good for Marion County. So we want to keep very close tabs on that little band just west of Bayonet Point, just southwest of Pine Ridge, and just southwest of Denellen. That is going right at Cedar Key. That is going right at Cedar Key. So we'll continue to watch that and keep you guys posted. So I got to cut it at 9. We're on the air at 10, and then we're on the air after the Olympics. So I'm gonna stop it right there. We'll get ready for a cut in here in about 9.5, 10 minutes. You guys are a great group. Thanks for the feedback, the thoughts. Again, if there's any graphics that we could produce for you guys that maybe you haven't seen, just let us know. All right, we're here for you guys, and just kind of help better tell the story through your train of thoughts. All right, guys. See you.